Did you know that coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil? That's right, coffee is a huge global business, with over 12 billion pounds of coffee produced every year. In fact, over 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed every day. But what is coffee exactly? Coffee is made from the roasted seeds of the coffee plant, which are also called coffee beans. But how much do you really know about coffee? Is it good or bad for you? What does it do to your body? Do you know the best way to store and brew your coffee and how to enjoy it to the fullest? If you're curious about these questions and more, then you're in luck. In this video, we're going to tell you 11 facts about coffee that you had no idea about. Trust me, you'll be amazed by what you'll learn. So grab your favorite cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy the video. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. It lowers your risk of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the way your body processes sugar or glucose. When you have type 2 diabetes, your body either doesn't produce enough insulin or doesn't use it properly. But according to many studies, coffee can actually lower your risk of type 2 diabetes by improving your insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. That's because coffee contains several compounds that have anti-diabetic effects, such as caffeine, chlorogenic acid, trigonelline, and magnesium. These compounds can stimulate your pancreas to secrete more insulin, enhance your cell's response to insulin, and reduce the absorption of glucose from your intestines. In fact, according to a review of 30 studies, each cup of coffee people consumed per day was linked to a 6% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In another study, they found that drinking 3 cups of coffee per day was associated with a 21% lower risk of type 2 diabetes, compared to drinking no or less than 1 cup per day. Number 2. It boosts your brain function. You probably know that coffee contains caffeine, which is a stimulant that can make you feel more alert and energetic. But did you know that coffee also has other effects on your brain that go beyond caffeine? That's right, coffee can also improve your short-term memory, attention, and focus by increasing the activity of certain brain regions. In a recent study done in Portugal, researchers scanned the brains of coffee drinkers and non-coffee drinkers before and after they consumed either coffee or caffeine. They found that drinking coffee decreased the connectivity of the brain network that puts you in a resting state, making you more ready to switch from rest to task mode. They also found that drinking coffee increased the connectivity of the brain networks involved in visual processing and executive control, which affect working memory and cognitive control. These effects were not observed in those who only consumed caffeine, suggesting that coffee has something more than just caffeine that affects the brain. Number 3. It has no calories. One of the best things about coffee is that it has no calories. Coffee is basically water with some dissolved coffee solids and oils. These substances have very little or no caloric value, meaning they don't provide any energy for your body. However, not all coffee drinks are calorie-free. We always add milk, cream, sugar, syrups, or whipped cream to our coffee. This adds extra calories that can affect our weight and health. For example, a Starbucks Grande Latte has 190 calories, a Dunkin' Donuts Medium Mocha has 260 calories, and a McDonald's Large Caramel Frappe has 670 calories. That's a lot of calories for just one drink. So, if you want to keep your coffee calorie-free, you should drink it black or use low-calorie alternatives, such as almond milk or stevia. This way, you can benefit from the amazing effects of coffee on your health, without compromising your weight loss goals. Number 4. The foam is an indication of freshness. If you're a fan of black coffee, you might have noticed that sometimes your coffee has a layer of foam on top, and sometimes it doesn't. So, what does this foam mean, and how does it relate to the freshness of your coffee? Well, the foam of black coffee is a layer of tiny bubbles that forms on the surface of your coffee when you brew it. It's made up of water, coffee oils, and carbon dioxide gas. The carbon dioxide gas is a byproduct of the roasting process, and it gets trapped inside the coffee beans. When you grind and brew the coffee, the carbon dioxide gas escapes gradually and creates the foam. This foam matters because it can tell you how fresh your coffee is. The fresher the coffee, the more carbon dioxide gas it contains and the more foam it produces. The older the coffee, the less carbon dioxide gas it contains, and the less foam it produces. So, if your coffee has a lot of thick and persistent foam, it means that your coffee is very fresh and has a lot of flavor and aroma. This is the ideal situation for black coffee lovers. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5. It strengthens your DNA. You may not know this, but your DNA is constantly exposed to damage from various sources, such as UV rays, chemicals, and free radicals. This can cause breaks in your DNA strands, which can lead to mutations, cancer, or tumors if not repaired by your cells. But according to studies, drinking coffee every day can actually help you strengthen your DNA and prevent damage. So, how does that happen? Well, coffee contains antioxidants, such as polyphenols and melanoidins, which can enhance your DNA repair mechanisms and prevent oxidative stress. These antioxidants can also affect the expression of genes involved in DNA stability and protection. In fact, in a recent study, researchers gave 100 healthy adults either water or dark roast coffee for 4 weeks and measured their DNA integrity before and after the intervention. They found that the coffee group had a 23% lower level of DNA strand breaks than the water group, indicating that coffee improved their DNA stability and reduced their risk of DNA damage. This means that coffee may help you maintain your genetic health and prevent diseases related to DNA damage. Number 6. It protects your kidneys. According to some studies, drinking coffee regularly may reduce the risk of acute kidney injury, which is a sudden and serious condition that causes the kidneys to stop working for a period of time. Acute kidney injury can cause symptoms such as swelling, fatigue, confusion, nausea, and even coma or death in severe cases. In a study by researchers from Hopkins Medicine, they found that those who drank any amount of coffee every day had a 15% lower risk of acute kidney injury compared to those who did not drink coffee. Moreover, those who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day had a 22% to 23% lower risk of acute kidney injury. So how much coffee do you need to drink to enjoy these benefits? Well, it seems that any amount of coffee is better than none, but the optimal dose may be around 2 to 3 cups a day. Number 7. It helps you lose weight. If you love coffee, you'll be happy to know that it can also help you lose weight. Coffee contains caffeine, which is a natural stimulant that increases your metabolic rate and energy expenditure. This means that coffee helps you burn more calories throughout the day, even when you're resting. Caffeine also stimulates the breakdown of fat cells and releases fatty acids into the bloodstream, which can be used as fuel by your muscles and organs. In fact, a study by Harvard suggested that drinking 4 cups of coffee a day can reduce body fat by up to 4%. But there's a catch. You have to drink your coffee unsweetened. Adding sugar, artificial sweeteners, cream, or non-dairy creamers can cancel out the benefits of coffee and add extra calories to your diet. Number 8. It protects your brain health. Caffeine is not the only reason why coffee is good for your brain. Coffee also has other compounds, such as polyphenols, that have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds can protect your brain cells from damage and aging, and may also modulate the activity of some neurotransmitters, such as dopamine and serotonin, that are involved in mood and motivation. For example, in a recent study done in 2021, researchers found that people who drank more than 6 cups of coffee a day had a 53% increased risk of dementia, compared to those who drank 1 or 2 cups a day. This suggests that moderate coffee consumption, around 3 to 5 cups a day, may be optimal for preventing cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Number 9. It lowers your risk of gout. Uric acid is a waste product that forms when your body breaks down purines, which are found in some foods and drinks. When uric acid builds up, it can form crystals in your joints, causing inflammation and pain. This is what happens in gout. In a recent study, researchers found that drinking at least 1 cup of coffee per day was associated with a 23% lower risk of developing gout compared to those who drank none. Another study found that people who drank the most coffee, about 5 cups per day, had the lowest uric acid levels among the participants. So, if you have gout or want to prevent it, drinking coffee may be a good idea. Number 10. It increases your blood pressure. You may have noticed that your heart rate goes up after drinking a cup of coffee. That's because the caffeine in coffee is a stimulant that affects your nervous system and cardiovascular system. According to a review of 34 studies, drinking 1 to 2 cups of coffee with 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine can increase your systolic blood pressure, the top number, by an average of 8 millimeters of mercury, and your diastolic blood pressure, the bottom number, by an average of 6 millimeters of mercury. This is because caffeine can cause your blood vessels to constrict and your heart rate to increase, which can temporarily raise your blood pressure. However, not everyone responds to caffeine the same way. Some people may be more sensitive to its effects than others. So, if you already have high blood pressure or other heart conditions, you may want to limit your coffee intake or switch to decaf. Number 11. It relieves headaches. The caffeine in coffee affects all the blood vessels in your body, especially those around your brain. When you have a headache, these blood vessels may swell, tighten, or change in other ways, causing more blood flow and pressure on your nerves. This can make you feel pain in your head. Caffeine can help by narrowing these blood vessels and reducing the blood flow and pressure. This can ease your headache and make you feel better. So start by drinking a cup of coffee when you feel a headache coming on. So, as you can see, drinking coffee every day has many benefits for your body and mind. Of course, moderation is key, as too much caffeine can also have some negative effects, such as increasing your blood pressure, causing insomnia, or triggering anxiety. So, how much coffee should you drink per day? According to the Mayo Clinic, up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day is safe for most healthy adults. That's about 4 cups of brewed coffee. Now that you know the benefits of drinking coffee every day, you might be wondering how to store and brew your coffee to get the best flavor and freshness. Here are some tips to help you enjoy your coffee more. First, you need to choose the right storage container for your coffee. Whether you have whole beans or ground coffee, you want to keep them away from oxygen, moisture, light, and heat. These are the enemies of freshness, and they can ruin your coffee's flavor and aroma. The best container is airtight, dark, and made of glass, ceramic, or stainless steel. These materials won't react with your coffee and will protect it from external factors. Avoid transparent containers, as they can expose your coffee to light. Also, avoid storing your coffee in the fridge or freezer, as they can introduce moisture and temperature fluctuations. Other than that, you should use fresh, filtered water, as water quality can affect your coffee's taste. You should also use the right grind size for your brewing method, as it can affect the extraction and flavor of your coffee. And you should brew your coffee at the optimal temperature, which is usually between 195 degrees Fahrenheit and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. So these were the 11 facts about coffee you probably didn't know. Now we want to hear from you. Do you drink coffee regularly? Did you experience some of these benefits? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching.